What's up, everyone? It's Brian here from the Exact IT Solutions YouTube channel, where we educate you about cybersecurity and bring you all the latest about what the heck is going on out there in the cybersecurity world and how it affects you in your life. So, before we get into the content today, where I'm going to talk about the CompuCom ransomware attack or the CompuCom breach. If you don't know what CompuCom is a very large IT services company, similar to a company that I have, who got hit with a massive malware incident. Not specifically stating, what it is. It's a cyber attack, but they aren't going into the details of it. But we're going to cover that today. But before we do, remember, I don't get paid for this channel. I don't do any promotion on here, and I don't bother you with annoying stuff. The only thing that I ask is that you help me out through word of mouth by sharing out my channel, liking my videos, and maybe subscribing to my channel. You guys are doing an awesome job with that. We've grown this channel to 1,300 subscribers from zero in a little under 12 months since we started consistently posting videos. So thank you for everyone that watches, and thank you for everyone who subscribes and likes our video. So without further ado, let's jump into the content for today. All right, so up on the screen, we have an article here from one of my favorite websites, MSSP Alert. And this is the CompuCom cyber attack. Recovery costs $10 million, and the MSP is up for sale. CompuCom's recovery from a malware-related cyber attack costs less than previously expected, but the MSP business is struggling and it's up for sale. So let's go into it. Now, CompuCom, if you don't know, is owned by Staples, which is our Office Depot. So it's an Office Depot company. Not Staples, it's Office Depot. So CompuCom spent $10 million to clean up a cyber attack that triggered a malware incident. And the MSP, managed service provider, if you don't know what managed service means, and that's just a fancy term for an IT company who manages your technology. The company remains up for sale. Now, before this happened, Office Depot was shopping this company and trying to sell it. So it says it's up for sale amid shrinking revenues. Parent Office Depot revealed in a Q1 2021 earnings statement today. CompuCom disclosed the cyber attack in early March of 21. Later that month, the parent Office Depot predicted that the attack would cost the MSP between $5 million and $8 million in lost revenue and up to $20 million in cleanup costs. So you fast forward to May 2021, an article goes on to say that CompuCom now pegs the cleanup costs at $10 million. And the overall MSP is struggling. For Q1 of 2021, CompuCom reported sales of $196 million, down 17% compared to Q1 of 2020. A $1 million operating loss in Q1 of 2021 compared to $3 million operating income in Q1 of 2020. So that's a pretty big loss. They went from a $1 million operating loss to from an operating income of $3 million in 2020. That's a $4 million drop to go from $3 million to negative $1 million. So they go on to say that CompuCom's business was primarily related to service volumes related to the COVID-19 outbreak and other factors, as well as lower billed service revenues as a result of the malware incident. So what they're saying here is basically we weren't able to bill as much because of the malware incident. And that's what I keep warning businesses on this channel, that when you have a malware incident or you get ransomware, you're not going to be able to conduct business as normal, and you're not going to be able to collect the same amount of revenue that you normally would under normal circumstances. CompuCom's business struggles are in stark contrast to the world's top 100 vertical market MSPs and top 250 public cloud MSPs and top 250 MSSPs, which my company happens to be on the top 250 MSSP list. The vast majority of which remained in growth mode during the coronavirus pandemic, which is absolutely true for our company. Parent ODP has been trying to sell off CompuCom since late 2020. Office Depot acquired CompuCom for $1 billion, a lofty 10 times earnings at the time in October 2017, which means they overpaid for it. And the IT service business unit has generated mixed performance under ODP's ownership. So here's the deal, and I'm going to lay it to you straight. What the hell's going on here at CompuCom? Number one, this company is not equipped to handle cybersecurity. So if you are doing any kind of business with CompuCom and you think they're handling your cybersecurity, they're not. They're not equipped for that. Companies that are equipped for cybersecurity don't operate like this. They don't have downturns in COVID-19 situations. Our business went up and so did a lot of other businesses. Now, the other interesting thing I want to point out here is, and what's important to note is, not only are they ill prepared to serve the market from a cybersecurity perspective, not because they got malware, but just based on these numbers. I can look at this business just based on this and tell you they are not equipped for doing cybersecurity services the right way, where how you need to charge and how you need to collect money and how you need to invest that money in your own company so you're a strong cybersecurity company. This is essentially a break-fix company, Geek Squad on steroids, that people were paying to manage their networks and their computer networks, and they were doing this and probably thinking that CompuCom was handling their cybersecurity as well, because that's what everybody thinks. They think my guy got it, my IT company, my IT guy that I hired, they got me covered, and they don't really have you covered. And you as the CEO or you as the business owner, you don't do anything to check in on that to verify it's being done. And that's when stuff like malware events happen and everybody's caught by surprise, or everybody's like, oh my God, what's going on here? So there's going to be a big divergence over the next couple years. And here's the point of this video today. If you're somebody who does business and you're looking for IT support and you need to buy these types of services, here's what you need to look out for. There's going to be a big divergence in the next 2 years. And a lot of companies that are not prepared to deliver on cybersecurity services, like a Security Plus Trustmark certified company like Exact IT Solutions is, they're going to sell off, they're going to go out of business, they're not going to exist. So the days of you getting off with cheap IT support, and we all know what we're talking about here. If you're a business owner, if you're getting away with not paying enough for IT support, or that what you're paying today really probably isn't what a really good company would charge if you were with a really good company. And you're hoping that every day goes by and you're getting by with this type of behavior, that nothing bad happens, and hopefully nothing bad does happen and you don't get attacked by a hacker or anything like that. But the reality of it is that more and more we see businesses being hacked more frequently because they're not working with the right companies. And the right companies are going to go down a different path, and they're going to do the things, and they're going to build the bench strength, and they're going to get the certifications that are required to be a legitimate cybersecurity company. Because let's remember, it's the wild, wild west still when it comes to IT services. You can still just hang a shingle on the side of your building and call yourself a cybersecurity company, a managed service provider, a managed service security provider, and nobody's going to check into that to see if that's true. There's no licensing body, there's no oversight, there's nothing. It's the wild, wild west, and anybody can manage your IT and manage it for whatever price they want. The big thing that's happening here, and here's what you're going to want to know that's important about this industry if you don't know it already. A lot of managed service providers and managed service security providers don't charge enough money for what they do. And what they do is they skimp on service. They cut corners. They don't do things that you think that they're doing, or they don't spend the man hours that's required to secure your network and make sure that hackers are not able to get in, and they're making sure that nobody's in there. That requires a lot of man hours to check the things that need to be checked, to make sure that things are done the right way. And when you hook yourself or you partner up with a company that doesn't do that stuff, you've increased your risk infinitely. And the amount that you're going to pay on the right side of the boom versus the left side of the boom, meaning left side meaning being before, right side meaning being after, and the boom is the middle. And when that event happens and that thing blows up, if you're on the right side of the boom and you're having to deal with these things that should have been handled on the left side of the boom, you're going to pay probably 10, 20, 30, 40, up to 100 times more than what you would have if you took care of it on the left side of the boom. And that's what the point of this article is. The costs are tremendously higher to deal with them after the fact. And the cleanup costs were supposed to be $10 million. For CompuCom, they're $20 million. And this company is bleeding cash like crazy. So learn from this company. Learn what they did wrong. Don't make the same mistakes. If you're an MSP or an MSSP or a cybersecurity company and you're watching this and you're not working to get your company and your people certified, you're going to be CompuCom one day. And that's the reality of this stuff. So I hope you guys take this message seriously. I hope you turn around tomorrow and start doing the right things to get your company right, so you don't end up like CompuCom, because it doesn't matter where your revenue is. If you're not doing 10 million, if you're doing a million, if you're doing 500,000, just look at it as a percentage, right? Their revenue, where they thought it was going to be up to 20 million, now pegging it at 10 million, they don't know, because they have lost business. People aren't going to trust them. This is a report that they're putting out to kind of save their own asses when it comes to their stock, because ODP is a publicly traded company, and when you're putting out numbers like this, your stock is going to go through the floor. So they're doing everything they can to kind of prop these numbers up so it looks like it's not as bad. I venture to say we're going to be closer to the 20 million in cleanup costs. The cleanup's not done yet. That's the reality. So hope that you found this interesting. Please drop some comments down below. I'm going to wrap this video up for today. CompuCom, going through it. Learn from these guys. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Have you at your company ever dealt with a cyber attack like this? Malware, ransomware, which is probably what this is. They just don't want to say it. Let us know. Love to hear from you and do videos about it. We did have one subscriber put in a request for a video about how the hackers how the hackers cannot get caught. Like, why aren't they getting caught if they can do this stuff? And I got that video in the works. It's going to hit early next week. And I'm going to show you exactly how hackers obfuscate themselves and why it's difficult for law enforcement to get to these people in the first place. So look for that video. And remember, we're doing a 25 video series on how to hack-proof your business. Those videos are coming out week by week. They're up there now. Start checking them out. There's 25 of them. And we hope that you find those helpful in understanding everything that goes into protecting your assets and your business from hackers and cyber criminals. So that's it for me, folks. I'm signing off. Have a good night, and we will chat soon. Take care.